Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Movie Deputy Reviews, where we are talking about a very special movie today. It came out in 2009, and not only that, but today is our last day of 2025. Was it a good year? Was it a bad year? A little bit of mix of both? I think we can all agree on the latter, because nothing is ever 100% all the time, good or bad. And 2025 has been an adventure. We are in year 11 with Movie Deputy here. We officially jumped into the different thing of doing the podcast a little bit differently. We jumped into the video format, as you can see, and so much more. We've got so many more surprises coming up. You're not going to want to miss a moment. We are launching stories after the first of the year. That's going to be one of our biggest surprises. That's going to kind of be something new, and I haven't exactly decided if I'm doing it weekly or bi-weekly yet, but we'll be figuring that out shortly after the first of the year. And you may be wondering what kind of stories. Well, that you're going to want to make sure to stay tuned for, because it's going to be fun. I have accumulated more than a few stories, and I've got friends who share stories, and then I've found even some threads and stuff online of stories along the lines of the ones that I want to share with you. And it's just going to kind of go down a path. And boy, do I have some personal ones to throw in there. Those closest to me are probably familiar with them because they've heard them a few times. But if you are not, and you enjoy humor and just some stuff things that make you go, huh? Then you'll surely find that interesting. We are also, we have suspended doing anything with our Rumble channel for now, just because I am having a very hard time according to their end, I'm indexed everything. I've double checked all my settings on my end, but we're not having any luck being found on Rumble. So as of least right now, we are suspending any additions to Rumble as of pretty much our last show and then this one. But just going into 2026, I wanted to let people know that, like I said, December 31st. And of course, I want all of my friends and listeners to be safe tonight with celebrating the new year, bringing in the new year. Be sure to make sure you have a designated driver. And if not, there's tons of programs out there through the rideshare services and other things out there. But you may be thinking, what does this have to do with the movie? Well, it's our last show of the year. So I kind of wanted to combine that stuff a little bit. But today's movie that we are talking about is and I'm going to kind of throw a couple things at you before I give you the title. If you were on our YouTube channel, you can already see the poster of the movie that we're going to be talking about, which I haven't mentioned the name yet intentionally. But take a movie and you combine Fern Gully, Jurassic Park. Which other ones did I compare that to? Oh, Alien, Fern Gully, Jurassic Park, and Dances with Wolves. Now, you're probably going, what? Because that's kind of where my brain was when I first saw this. I had seen this years ago, but I didn't actually review this until recently. But yeah, you take a little bit of Alien, well, James Cameron is involved with both of those, and then you'd have Fern Gully, and you're like, how does that one fit in? Well, that'll make sense here shortly. And then you've got Terminator, and you've got Jurassic Park, and those. And again, you've got the very similar type people involved with Spielberg and Cameron, and you've got kind of that whole fantasy mindset thing going on. And then the whole Dances with Wolves. Well, that has to do to the references to the indigenous population and what man has done to them by encroaching on those areas. And just it's a movie designed for entertainment, but I don't know if it quite gets there. I am giving this, after some careful consideration and a lot of discussion with some people that I know, I was really debating guilty or innocent on this one. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we are talking about the 2009 extraordinary film of Avatar. Now, Avatar completely changed the game when it comes to graphics and storylines and just kind of all of that. But Cameron could not resist the political innuendos. And as we know, there have been two other movies since then, one that just recently came out. And we are talking about Avatar today. We are talking about Avatar, The Way of the Water on Friday, and the new Avatar Fire and Ash will be Saturday's program. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on that as well. It's just kind of going bam, bam, bam with our programs. But the the whole idea, the politics of everything, and the Zarina, stop. Zaza, get down. Get one of my kitties here. Zarina, here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're going to get her on camera. This is Zarina. She's one of my 7 babies. She's spoiled rotten. She's 11 years old. She'll be 12 in March. Zarina, I love you. But she was just up here on the desk, so I thought, get her, grab her and show her off. She's full of tortitude. But Cameron could not resist the political directions that this movie goes in. And story-wise, it's entertaining, and there's so much to this. What we get with Avatar is, a lot of people think of avatars and they think of like these little cartoony versions of ourselves that we can put. Some people have them on the iPhones where they can make themselves look different and it talks for them, or just like the little thing you have on social media, any of the social medias, or the filters technically are can be considered avatars. But in these avatars for the movie, they have these like suits that they lay down in these beds, and they basically wear these alien suits just via the mind. So their bodies are stationary in one place, and then their minds basically, they operate these avatars, and they do that to gain the trust of the Navi people because they want to. My kitties are going nuts with it being the last day of the year. They're like, Mom, we're gonna act up. It's 2025. We're gonna end the year on a bang. Quincy, get down. Quincy. No, we are not. No. Sorry. The distractions of having kitties. Bear with me for just a second here. Gwen, come here. You want to be introduced to? You want to be introduced? This is Quincy. Say hi, Gwen. Look, right here. Oh, he's not going to cooperate. Oh, that's 2 of the 7 kitties. Sorry, he was up on top of an area that if he would have jumped down, it could have possibly tipped my computer over with where he was at. So, okay, back to the movie. But here you have, okay, I'm going to getting kind of ahead of myself here. Let's actually jump in with the trailer, and then I'll get into a little bit more of the explaining, because I'm thinking if I'm kind of explaining it the way I'm going, you're going to get a lot more confused than I would care to do. So we're going to jump on over, and I'm going to show you the trailer, and then we'll come back to this. And I'm going to pause the trailer at a few key points too. So bear with me, but let's check this out.
You Jakesully? I'd like to talk to you about a fresh start on a new world.
Jakesully is a Marine who was left as a paraplegic after an accident. And his twin brother, Tom, was actually the person that was lined up to participate in the Avatar program. But after something happened, and the fact that they were identical twins, Jake was a perfect fit to jump into Tom's shoes and into Tom's avatar, as per se. Where Tom had been training for years to do this program, and you know me, no spoilers. This is all like into the first few minutes of the movie, so there's no spoilers there. But so Jake has the opportunity to fit in, but Jake has no training in this avatar. He is a paraplegic, and he has a chance to have legs again through his avatar. And let's jump back into the trailer.
You'd be making a difference.
I became a Marine for the hardship and told myself I can pass any test a man can pass. All I ever wanted was a single thing worth fighting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are not in Kansas anymore. You are on Pandora.
You should see your faces.
We have an indigenous population called the Navi. They are very hard to kill.
This is why we're here. Because this little gray rock sells for 20 million a kilo. They're built.
And that is actually the unobtanium. That is the mineral that Pandora is known for.
Village happens to be resting on the richest deposit, and they need to relocate. Those savages are threatening our whole operation. We're on the brink of war, and you're supposed to be finding.
Now, as you can see here, if you are watching the video with us, so you can see Sigourney Weaver. Well, you can't have an alien movie without Sigourney Weaver. I mean, come on.
A diplomatic solution.
The concept is to drive these remotely controlled bodies called avatars. They're grown from human DNA, mixed with DNA of the natives.
Marine in an avatar body. That's a potent mix.
You get me what I need, I'll see to it you get your legs back. Your real legs.
Hell yeah, sir.
Looks like you. This is your avatar.
And the avatar actually resembles him because it was designed after his twin brother. So naturally, there is a resemblance there.
Just relax and let your mind go blank. It shouldn't be hard for you.
Jake, it's real simple. I want you to learn from the inside. I want you to gain their trust.
You should not be here. Go back. All this is your fault.
I need you.
Some of these scenes may look familiar if you are familiar with the story of Ferngully or the cartoon from Ferngully. If not, that might be another one to go back and check just to see just kind of how they tie in together. But there were definite clear inspirations from that for this movie.
Outstanding.
Haven't gotten lost in the woods, have you?
Did you forget what team you're playing for?
Strong, prey on the weak, and nobody does a thing.
You got 1 hour.
You knew this would happen?
Everything changed. Jake, it's crazy here. The forage is rolling and there's no stopping him.
We're going up against gunships with bows and arrows.
Well, I guess we better stop him.
Send us a message that they can take whatever they want. But we will send them a message that this is our land.
Yeah, it was absolutely stunning. I mean, in every way, a movie had never been done like this before, not with this level of CGI and just everything that is happening. But the story is old. I mean, it's the whole how the white people have invaded the Indians and we've taken all of their stuff and just, it's that story just repeated all over again, only we're going to Pandora for unobtanium. And we are forcing the Navi to, they have to leave their area. They have to leave their home so that we can do this. And we do that by deforestation and crowding them out. And it's just all of this. But along as all this is happening, Jakesully, the Marine, the paraplegic, becomes the avatar. There's a love story mixed in with all of this too. And obviously that leads into the other two movies, but it's just, like I said, I was really, really going back and forth on the whole guilty and innocent thing. And mind you, there is some stronger language in this one at times, but none of the violence is necessarily over the top. I'm giving this reluctantly, I'm giving this a guarded innocent rating. I think 8 and above with supervision would be fine watching something like this. Now, for the podcast image, I just basically added a little bit of a blue haze to the whole thing to just enhance the whole idea of basically what the Navi are with all of this and the story that's involved. And as you probably saw here in the trailer as well, these almost dinosaur-like creatures, hence the Jurassic Park reference. And you see all the deforestation and everything going on, hence the Fern Gully reference. And it's just the Dances with Wolves, hence the Indian reference, things on that. So there's just so much that goes on. And then the alien reference is pretty much self-explanatory, just because, I mean, they're on another planet that took, I got to go to my notes here. So that 5 years, 9 months, and 22 days in cryogenic stasis to get to Pandora from Earth. So it's a little ways away, just a little bit. Now, where is it exactly? It never quite explains that, but like I said, there's just so much going on here, and you've got the politics that are very clearly outlined that can't really be anything else. Then you have the story that's actually playing out here with the fantasy involved, and then you just have the visuals, and they're almost so stunning that it's almost a distraction from the other stuff that's going on. So you may be wondering where I ended up with on this as a score. Well, for closing out our 2025, our last movie of the year, I am only coming in at a 7.25 out of 10 on the deputy scale. Now, that may surprise you. A lot of people have rated this movie a lot higher, but there are some continuity issues. There are some other like little stuff that happens. And then, of course, there's the very clear political bias that is... It's very much a forefront in the story. That is the story. That is the story of Avatar. And everything else is almost like a side note or a distraction of that. And it's a distraction towards it as much as it is away from it. And it's borderline anti-military, borderline a little bit. So it's just... I really couldn't go any higher. It's definitely a memorable story. Yeah, absolutely. But the questionable content is the questionable content is strong in this one. So I hope you have enjoyed the 2025 with Movie Deputy. I hope you come into 2026 with us with a bang. And of course, you'll want to be sure to stay tuned for all the latest and greatest with the new episodes that are going to be coming live with our stories things. And then we're going to be doing a lot more contests and giveaways. Our 12 Days of Christmas was just such an overwhelming success. So thank you so much for that, legitimately. And I can't wait to do more things that are going to be interactive and fun for all of us. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening and celebrates the new year. So I will look forward to seeing you next year, guys. Bye-bye.